Hola amigos.
Welcome back to our Spanish class. Today, we're going to learn more about 𝐒𝐿 verbs, which are special verbs in Spanish that change their endings to 𝐿 when we use them with yo, which means I in English. These verbs might seem a little tricky at first, but with some practice, you'll get the hang of them. So let's get started with our first 𝐒𝐿 verb,
Valer.
which means to be worth or to have value. In the present tense, 𝐿 form of this word is,
Valgo.
which means I am worth or I have value. Let's practice using this word in a sentence. For example,
Yo valgo mucho.
which means I am worth a lot. Can you repeat that with me?
Yo valgo mucho. Yo valgo mucho. Yo valgo mucho.
Great job. Now, let's move on to the next 𝐒𝐿 verb,
Venir.
which means to come. In the present tense, 𝐿 form of this word is,
Vengo.
which means I come. Let's practice using this word in a sentence. For example,
Yo vengo a la escuela todos los días.
which means I come to school every day. Can you repeat that with me?
Yo vengo a la escuela todos los días. Yo vengo a la escuela todos los días. Yo vengo a la escuela todos los días.
Excellent. Now, let's learn about another 𝐒𝐿 verb,
Seguir.
which means to follow or to continue. In the present tense, 𝐿 form of this word is,
Sigo.
which means I follow or I continue. Let's practice using this word in a sentence. For example,
Yo sigo las instrucciones de mi maestro.
which means I follow my teacher's instructions. Can you repeat that with me?
Yo sigo las instrucciones de mi maestro. Yo sigo las instrucciones de mi maestro. Yo sigo las instrucciones de mi maestro. Fantástico.
You're doing great so far. Now, let's move on to the next 𝐒𝐿 verb,
Traer.
which means I bring. Let's practice using this word in a sentence. For example,
Yo traigo mi almuerzo a la escuela.
which means I bring my lunch to school. Can you repeat that with me?
Yo traigo mi almuerzo a la escuela. Yo traigo mi almuerzo a la escuela. Yo traigo mi almuerzo a la escuela.
Wonderful. Now, let's move on to another 𝐒𝐿 verb,
Conseguir.
which means to get or to obtain. In the present tense, 𝐿 form of this word,
Consigo.
which means I get or I obtain. Let's practice using this word in a sentence. For example,
Yo consigo buenas notas en la escuela.
which means I get good grades in school. Can you repeat that with me?
Yo consigo buenas notas en la escuela. Yo consigo buenas notas en la escuela. Yo consigo buenas notas en la escuela.
Muy bien. Now, let's move on to another 𝐒𝐿 verb,
Decir.
which means to say or to tell. In the present tense, 𝐿 form of this word is,
Digo.
which means I say or I tell. Let's practice using this word in a sentence. For example,
Yo digo la verdad siempre.
which means I always tell the truth. Can you repeat that with me?
Yo digo la verdad siempre. Yo digo la verdad siempre. Yo digo la verdad siempre. Excelente.
Now, let's move on to another group of 𝐒𝐿 verbs that have some irregularities. These verbs include
Salir. Oponer. Suponer. Componer. Caer. Bendecir. Asir. Distinguir. Oír. deshacer,
These verbs have some changes in their stems when we use them with yo, but they still follow the yo-go pattern. Let's take a look at some examples. For example,
salir,
which means to leave.
yo salgo, yo salgo, yo salgo,
I leave,
oponer,
which means to oppose.
yo opongo, yo opongo, yo opongo,
I oppose,
suponer,
which means to suppose.
yo supongo, yo supongo, yo supongo,
I suppose,
componer,
which means to compose.
yo compongo, yo compongo, yo compongo,
I compose,
caer,
which means to fall.
yo caigo, yo caigo, yo caigo,
I fall,
bendecir,
which means to bless.
yo bendigo, yo bendigo, yo bendigo,
I bless,
asir,
which means to grab.
yo asgo, yo asgo, yo asgo,
I grasp,
distinguir,
which means to distinguish.
yo distingo, yo distingo, yo distingo,
I distinguish,
oír,
which means to hear.
yo oigo, yo oigo, yo oigo,
I hear,
deshacer,
which means to undo.
yo deshago, yo deshago, yo deshago,
I undo. Let's practice using one of these verbs in a sentence. For example,
yo bendigo mi comida antes de comerla,
which means I bless my food before eating it. Can you repeat that with me?
yo bendigo mi comida antes de comerla. Yo bendigo mi comida antes de comerla. Yo bendigo mi comida antes de comerla. Fabuloso.
You're doing an amazing job learning all these yo-go verbs. Remember to practice them regularly and soon you'll be a pro. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Your support means a lot to us and helps our channel grow. We would also love to hear from you, so feel free to leave a comment down below and let us know what you thought of this video. We're always looking for ways to improve and create content that you love, so your feedback is greatly appreciated. Once again, thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next one.
Hasta luego, amigos.